Okay, hello everybody. Today we are going to learn about translating words to algebra. So this happens a lot of times in story problems where you need to find those key words to help you to set up an equation or a plan of attack to be able to solve the problem. So if you take a look at the first page here, which is page, I forgot what, 3, okay, you will notice that there are 4 boxes, and within each box, they are showing you the different operations. So we have addition in the upper left, we have subtraction, we have multiplication because they're right next to each other, and then we have division. Underneath each of those are all of your key words. So you have add, added to, increase, and so forth. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause this video and go through and really read each of these key words and highlight them, okay? Okay, next what we're going to do is, so those are the important ones for adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. For, or increased or less than, I guess is really. On the back of that sheet, which is page 4, you will notice that we have some more keywords. Now these keywords are talking about your symbols. Your equal sign, not equal, approximately, and then your inequality symbols. Right? You'll notice that there are some, especially if you take a look here at greater than. That's the same thing as you big one, but that's the same thing more than what you saw on the first page. The main difference here is that almost always you will see the huge keyword is. Is, if it's before, less than, or equal to, is the same, approximately equal to, all of that is always going to represent that it is a symbol that goes in between two sides, a left side and a right side. Okay? Once you are familiar with these keywords and then approximately equal to, and do the same thing like you did on page 3, go through and read all of those keywords, highlight them. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to some practice. Okay? So what I want you to do is, again, pause the video, and I want you to try the examples on page 5. You have 1 through 12, and you will see A through N on the right side, which is matching. So go ahead and pause the video and give these 12 problems a try, okay? Okay, so now we have the answers. Okay, so I've written all of the answers down. A couple that I want to go through and I want to kind of walk through are going to be 8, 10, and 11. You might have gotten those wrong because those tend to be a little bit of the trickier ones. So with number 8, it says twice the sum. So because it says twice the sum, remember sum is the key word for addition. You need to make sure that you are multiplying a sum by 2. Okay, so since we need twice the sum, that's why it's going to match up with letter M here, because you have 2 times and then you have the sum inside. So anytime it says like twice the sum or twice the product, you're really looking for one that has parentheses. And that's the same thing with number 10 and number 11. It says twice the sum again. So because of that sum, you're going to look for the parentheses because it has to be times the whole thing. And then same thing for 11. It says 4 times the quotient. And quotient is the fancy word for division. So you have to make sure that 4 is times the whole division problem. Okay? If you have any questions on these, please make a note of it and ask me the next face-to-face day. Okay? Then you go to the last page. These are the more complicated ones because you're not given an option. It's not matching. So what you're going to do is you're just going to go through here and you're going to identify those key words. Okay? I literally write right over the top of the problem. So 4, I know that's the number 4. I notice the times, so I'm going to go ahead and write the multiplication symbol. And then a number, I can represent that with anything. It's going to be a variable because it says it has a variable. So I usually use x. So that means my expression is going to be 4x. Now you could have used parentheses there. You could have used the dot, however you want to, but I usually just put the number right next to the variable. Okay, if we continue, I have 3 for number 2. So I'm going to write the number 3 above it. Then I have less than. Well, that I know means subtraction. And then I have the word number. So again, I'm going to represent that with a variable. Okay, Be careful though, because anytime you see the word than, and maybe I'll make a note over here, anytime you see the words from, than, or into, you need to switch the order. Meaning, whatever comes first is now going to come second and vice versa. So since 3 is first, that's going to come second, and since x is second, that's going to come first. So it actually becomes x minus 3. Now that usually doesn't matter, like if we take a look at number 5, usually doesn't matter because I see 8, and then I see more than. So again, more is plus. Okay. More than is plus, but I see the word than, and that's in between 8 and twice. But I'm going to keep going because twice means times 2, and then the number, which would be x. So instead of taking twice x second, I'm going to move that first, so 2x, and then plus 8. And there you have it. Now let's take a look at a little bit more complicated one. Okay, if we take a look at, let's say, number 9, it says 15. So again, I'm going to write that above. 15 minus means subtraction. The quotient, that's division. So I'm going to go ahead and write that. So now I have minus division. Well, we can't have that. So again, because I'm subtracting the whole thing, that's where it's going to have to be in parentheses. And then we have a number and 3. So n or x, and I actually want to use x because just to be consistent. So in parentheses, I'm going to be dividing x and 3. And I write that as a fraction. And then I have 15 minus that. Right? Now technically there you don't need to have the parentheses, but go ahead. Never hurts. If we take a look at number 12, it says 7. Then I have is less than. Okay, well, we just saw less than up there on 2, but remember, we have that huge key word there, is. So that represents our inequality symbol. So that would be is less than the symbol. And then we have twice a number, so that's going to be 2n. So our final answer would be 7, inequality symbol less than 2n. Okay? So I did some of those for you. What I want you to do for the rest of the time is to go through and finish the ones that I did not complete, and then that's what I'm going to be checking in tomorrow or next face-to-face day. Okay? Good luck.